You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Hello Sport Podcast. Home unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. Here on a Monday, I'm going to say it's the 20th of June. I could be wrong, I could be right. Back after, an emotional weekend of ups and downs and smiles and frowns and toing and froing and coming and going. Joined, as always, by my good friend, confidant, and good friend, Eddie. How are you?
I'm okay, mate.
You've got a bruise on your eye.
I've got a bruise on my eye.
We don't know where it's come from.
We don't. We have theories. They're Friday night based.
Yeah.
They're Friday night based theories.
I don't remember you bruising up on Friday night.
But I'm bruised now.
Yeah, you are. And were you bruised Saturday?
I didn't do a whole lot of mirror work on Saturday. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're not, after a Friday like that, you don't want to look at yourself.
I didn't. Yeah. I laid on the couch all day, except for the two times that I walked Tonka. There was no mirror work.
Just Uber Eats and fucking chill.
Uber Eats, KFC to get me going.
Yeah.
A pizza to put me to sleep. And, a couple of really good movies in between. Shout out to Interceptor, one of the great movies all time.
One of the great movies all time. Right, so...
It was that sort of day.
I'm so jealous of that.
I was beyond horizontal. I was so fucking horizontal.
You might have been folded back on yourself.
I almost folded back on myself.
Like a wallet.
I was in wallet mode, punters and dribblers, that's when you folded back literally on yourself.
You hyperextend.
I had to get up twice to walk Tonka, and that was one of the most difficult moments of my life. The first one, when I got up I don't know, maybe I got up at 9, and I had to walk him.
But you had to.
And I hadn't eaten either. Was really, really tough.
Yeah.
It took a great part of me.
How I was woken up at 7:30, 8 o'clock to my children. Same.
No, I'm not. But this isn't about you and I.
No, I know
we're not comparing struggles.
No, we're not.
Because my struggle is my own, and it's contextualized
to
around
you and your
me.
experience. And yeah, exactly. It's hard. One of the hardest moments of your life.
Of my life.
Yes.
Was getting up, walking the dog. It was horrific for me.
Yes. For you.
Shout out to Stories of Origin that got me through.
So you were listening to that while you were walking, Tonka?
Yeah. It was great.
Good
that
for
was
you
good.
for
That part.
I sometimes find if I'm really hung, I don't want anyone talking to me. I need some maybe some tranquil music in my ear.
No, I need to be taken somewhere else.
Distracted from the reality of you.
As in distract me. Distract me immediately. Distract me now. Distract me immediately. Distract me now. Distract me immediately. Distract me now.
Let me start just quickly before we go on. By the time you're hearing this, the fucking New South Wales 13 plus jumpers are probably gone. But
there may be some 2XLs.
There may be some 2XLs left. But that's about it, punters, dribblers. Otherwise, they're gone. Thanks to everyone who copped them. Celebrating the greatest state of all, but also next year's state elections.
That's right. Celebrating next year's state elections, looking for New South Wales to win 13 plus seats in Parliament.
In Parliament. Now, Eddie, people might be going, why were you guys in such a state on Saturday? What was that about? Well, let me tell you. We had the annual turtleneck long lunch on Friday, which is celebrating the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year, which I think we've had or it's coming up.
I believe it's the 21st-ish.
So tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
No, I thought it was in July. Oh, no, it is 21st of June tomorrow.
There you go. Tomorrow. There you go. So that's what it's celebrating. Obviously,
it's the weekend before the solstice.
Yeah.
That's typically how it works.
Yep. Now, it was great. Shout out to our friends at they flew down from Batuta just for it, which was very nice of them.
It was. Errol and Clancy.
Errol and Clancy and the team.
And a couple of other friends.
Yep.
We nipped down to the wharf, Tom.
Kingsley's Steakhouse, is that what it's called?
Something in Steakhouse. It's a steakhouse.
I didn't need a steak.
Kingsley's.
Okay, I didn't need a steak.
You got the octopus.
Dude, it was great. It was great.
But a bold choice. You never usually see people rolling out the octopus at a lunch.
I'll tell you why. Because I'd eaten brekkie. Because I knew
You'd had
I'd
steak for breakfast?
No, I knew we were going to be having a drink, so I was like, I need to eat breakfast. Usually, you know, as you guys know, my health journey, intermittent faster. I won't eat most days before like 5 o'clock at night. So I was like, I need to eat something. I had a light bacon and eggs for breakfast. And then by lunch, I was like, I can't put away a steak. I'll be asleep in my chair. Something a bit lighter, barbecued or grilled octopus, whatever the fuck it was. Mwah. And I was good to go. So I don't know what your steak was like, but...
Steak was great.
Pounded some margs. Plenty of margs pounded.
Couple of Negronis, couple of margs.
Voddy sods.
Yeah, heaps of voddy sods. I don't mind a voddy soda at a long lunch. It keeps you...
Well, it's a freshener.
It keeps you...
Alert?
Present? Not present's probably not the right word. It keeps you in the game. It keeps you,
there's a bit of hydration into it.
Keeps you alive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's hydration and it's also good times.
Well,
So
it's a nod to vodka and it's a nod to H2O, water.
Yep.
Combine the two with a bit of carbonation. Thanks for coming.
There you
I
are.
like to nip in and out. So I'll go a margarita, maybe Negroni, maybe another margarita. Okay, now it's vodka soda time. Bang, have a vodka soda. Now I nip back out again. Now what time is it? Is it martini time? Is it Negroni time again? Is it margarita time again?
Pop your head
Do I
back
have a
in.
beer? Do I have a wine? Red, rosé, white. Who knows? The world's my oyster because I've had a vodka soda. That's what it allows you to do. Taste the fruits of the world.
Yeah.
Do you know who it was that bought that round of, I think they were vodka creaming sodas?
That would have been you.
That was not me. That was not me.
If I had to guess, I'd guess you.
That was most certainly not me.
it was definitely Zenon. Was that when we were at the pub?
Yeah, well, that was when we were at the
dude,
pub,
that was
I didn't get a creaming soda.
Nah, dude, what was he calling them? It was like a Kyogle carver or some
Was
shit.
that what it was? I don't remember. But I
He's
just
from
remember seeing
Queensland.
red, sweet, fizzy drinks come on the table.
It was
and being
fucking
like,
rogue.
yeah.
It was rogue, but I appreciated it. I appreciated that, you know, he was giving us a taste of his cultural heritage, and that was all good. I didn't love it. I did finish it.
Was
out of
it just
respect,
creaming soda?
and vodka?
Creaming soda is like... Remind me what creaming soda is.
I assume it's just like...
It's the drink you buy, right? I haven't had creaming
I
soda
thought it was just
in
kind of
15 years.
like a fizzy
Fizzy
Ribena
red drink?
sort of.
Yeah.
Creaming soda.
Yeah.
It's
No, I'm sorry.
There you go.
these ones.
We've got to get that. We got the TVs, but we haven't seen
I was
that.
getting confused with a spider, which I believe was creaming soda and ice cream.
Well, I think
No, I think it's
any soft
lemonade.
drink.
Is it not lemonade?
A spider can be any soft drink mixed with any ice cream. So you can get your
But
classic.
creaming soda was...
The spider of choice.
I think it was like... That was like the OG spider.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It definitely was.
No, it was. It was.
Shout out to creamy soda.
Shout out to Creamy Sodas. We went to the pub after that was right next to... What's that called? Bell's pub?
Bell's.
Bell's?
Don't know.
Very sort of just...
It's a tasteful
It's a
venue.
tasteful, like, no frills, just what you need sort of a venue. Pool table, outdoor area, seating out the front, TVs, sport. Thanks for coming.
I like that pub a lot.
Yeah. We've spent some time there.
We've spent a lot of time there over the years.
And
I've
who
got
was
a
the-
real soft spot for it.
Does anyone remember the business of the table that was next to us? Because we sort of made friends with them and then they came in there. We Are Urban or something? Or like-
Oh.
We met some people from the Star.
Dude, all this stuff is like me hearing. this
Yeah,
for the
there was
first time.
that might have been part of it as well. But the one guy who was a Cowboys fan who was with us,
Yes.
and I can't remember your name, sir, but you...
I can't even remember what he looks like.
I can. He's in the video that Dave filmed that we put up on the gram of us watching one of the darkest moments in Australian sporting history. But he was there
We'll get
for
to
it
that.
as a Cowboys fan and he buried us. We'll come back to that. We'll circle back to that. But a great night was had by all and a tough Saturday was had by you and I. And I'm assuming by all. Dave, Dave fucking was like out at the club with Ironside and shit.
You went to clubbing?
Archie took me to clubbing.
I don't know who Archie is, but
New friend we met.
Oh,
But
okay.
we were also with Clancy of Batuta fame.
oh right.
You went
You
clubbing?
guys, did Archie come after you guys had left? He must have come.
He must
Right.
have.
Ironside also came after you guys had left.
Yeah.
And shout out to
where
Ironside.
did Ironside come from?
I don't know because I didn't even know.
He just finds himself...
He just pops up. Ironside, obviously a baggy green member. For those of you that don't know, we've still got the big Papi pipe layer trophy which he built for us. It was the first like baggy green. Was it the first baggy green winner?
No, I don't think. The first winner, as in like the first one after we had announced.
The first recipient after we had him.
No, I don't think so.
Interesting.
I actually don't know who the first
No, neither do
was. I think what happened was we got 11 and then we handed out some that we thought needed to be handed out.
And then it was like...
And then after that, it was like earn them.
So that's like your King
That was the
Dribbles
original
Jorge all
11.
days. Right.
That's my memory of it. Keep those Ned Kelly masks coming.
Yeah. We hear there's a few in the works. Now, Sunday. Because that was like Saturday was a write-off.
What did you do on Saturday?
We hung out with the fam.
But how were you feeling? How was morale?
No, I didn't feel good. But I got through it, Eddie. And I just got through it by fucking bucking up. And you know...
But how was morale?
It was down, dude.
Yeah.
Morale was down. But if you're going to have a time, then you need to be able to deal with the next day. And it wasn't like... I think I got home like 1. So it wasn't like a nightmare. But, you know, you've just got to go the big lift for everyone around you and be like the Rock, you know? Not Dwayne the Rock. I just mean like the Rock of the family. Everyone can like, climb on, come with me. I'm going to be up and about.
A leader of sorts.
A leader of
like
the family.
Braveheart figure.
Yeah, Braveheart. I was sort of Braveheart on Saturday.
Yeah.
Brave dad. And
Did you get even to paint your face once in the
Yeah, and do brave dad. Saturday. I don't even really remember.
How did you sustain yourself? Because fuel's important.
Yeah,
we all
you're
know
right.
that.
So Steffi got me a bacon egg roll for breakfast, which was divine.
Where from?
From Biton Cafe in Bellevue Hill.
Bit on.
Yeah, and I had a bit on, right?
Do you go when you got a bit on?
Yeah, well,
When you got a bit on, get a bit on.
But then I had to share that with Evie, so that was... I know, like, it's the... Put it this way. Before I had Evie or Zoe or whoever, the idea of any motherfucker coming near my bacon and egg roll when I'm hungover was like, oh, I'll snap you for that. Like, I'll put one on your chin for less than that. Coming after my bacon and egg roll when I'm dusty as fuck. Or when it's like, you know, your missus, I'm not hungry, and then they want a bit of your... Yeah, I know.
Get two.
Yeah.
Because I'll have half of it.
If you don't want it, I'll have it. But, like, don't come for my shit.
Don't come for it.
But anyway...
Not when I've got a bit on.
No. So I'm sitting there and Evie just going, ooh, can I have a bite? And I'm like, yep, of course. And I'm just completely fine with it. And it was just like, oh, this is different. This is me evolving as a person. Except it's only because you're a child. If it was Steph, I'd be furious.
Well, you haven't evolved at all.
No.
It's horses for courses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there are different rules.
There are. In life, there are different rules.
There are different rules. Sorry. If you're my child...
The sooner you figure that out, the better.
You can eat my food. Yeah, but if you're not, then stay the fuck away from me. Much like Tonka. You know what I mean? Don't go near Tonka when he's eating.
It's just like, you shouldn't go near any dog while they're eating, least of all Tonka.
No.
He's not a big sharer of food. It's just not who he is as a dog. It's not what gets him out of bed in the morning, as it were.
No, he's not. He
doesn't get out of bed.
He's not an
to
altruistic
share.
pooch. He's not getting up and going to soup kitchens and like helping out the homeless.
No.
And like
But
he's more inclined to eat a homeless person than to share a meal with a homeless person.
He'll give unaffectionate love.
Unconditional
right?
love?
Unconditional.
Not unaffectionate.
It's Monday. But yes, you are correct. Unconditional love, he will provide kisses, licks, hugs. Like, he can make you feel better. But when it comes to sharing food, it's a one-way street. As in, he expects you to share with him,
yes,
but he won't share.
He won't share with you. It's a one-way sharing operation. I was wrestling him on Friday night, and he started like giving me some growls, and you're like, "Get away from him." And I was like, "Is he really? He wouldn't do it to me." But then when you was like, "Nah, I'd get away from him," I'm like,
well, it's just the tone of the growl changes. Yeah, because he's got a throaty, playful growl, but then like, I think it was going on a little long, and he's like,
started coming out.
It's like, all right, bro, I need you to fuck off.
I need you to fuck off now. Usually it's the other way around. I'm like, hey, Tonka, I need you to fuck off. But this was.
Yeah. But you were like, we were full to the brim.
Yeah, we were.
And, you were in a mood to wrestle. Put it that way.
Me and Tonka wrestle. Does anyone else wrestle with him apart from me? And obviously, I assume you.
You wrestle a lot with him. You'd be like number one wrestler,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Because whenever he sees me, he knows what time it is, and he comes to me.
He literally does probably only wrestle you.
Yeah. And as soon as he comes in here, he's like, oh, yeah. Oh, it's this guy.
I've seen him get you off the couch before. He'll just go up and just like start nosing.
Yeah, he just
like,
nudges me and I'm like, no, Tonga.
He'll literally nudge him.
No,
He'll
Tonga.
nudge him off the couch. This pooch has got tremendous persuasion skills.
He can persuade me off a couch.
Oh yeah.
And not through growling, but through like, come on, just fucking do it. And then
He
before
was
you know it,
mate, on Saturday when I was in hell, he was persuading chips out of my hand.
again, he's a
I'm
child,
talking about
dude.
I'm talking
If he's a
about
kid,
I'm
but
talking
if that
about
was Ella,
potato. I'm talking about potato dipped in potato, punters and dribblers. That's what I'm talking about. Chips dipped into that potato and gravy that I know and love from KFC.
But if that was Ella
and he was
asking you-
getting them off me. Not all of them, sure, but he might have been getting 10% out of me.
Now, but do you think it's fair to say that you might have called off the wedding? Were Ella there and asking for those chips? Like, it's not beyond the realms of possibility to say that.
No, I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, Tom, I'm comfortable admitting that the wedding would be called off.
And I mean, that's just, it's, you know what, you got to be honest.
You
got to know where you stand, right? You got to stand for something.
You got to stand for something. It's important to stand for something.
Otherwise, you stand for nothing.
Otherwise, you stand for literally nothing. And it's important in life, Tom, to try, at least try, and stand for something.
Now, Sunday rolls around, Eddie, and I realise that I need to sort of like make some sort of changes to try and like shift up the energy in my mind, in my body, in my spirit, and in my soul.
Well, I think obviously changes need to be made. I'd like to give some context to the punters and dribblers around maybe why some of that change is like now pressing.
Yes.
As of Sunday, as of yesterday, 13 weeks out from the marathon. 13.
Is that really?
Training in earnest, like our training block starts on Sunday. This Sunday.
Right.
The 12-week out
Getting the shit
program that
together.
we've got.
Right.
Because of a couple of dear friends, Lockie, Dan. That starts this
Okay.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Just letting that fucking hang in the air. Punters and dribblers, we will be organising a marathon team. We
Yep,
will be.
you can join us.
The details will be out this week.
Now,
It's a this week.
that
plan.
might have been the thing that we were talking about before this. Like, did we forget about something to put on the do it?
Well, I've
board?
just remembered.
Remember it, Tobler Dave. With that in mind,
Did you know it was 13 weeks?
I didn't know that, but with that in mind,
That's not that long.
no, it's not. It's not that long at all. And with that in mind, punters and dribblers, in 13 weeks, I have to run 42 kilometres.
Well, you got to try.
How many kilometres do you think I ran on Sunday? As a record, as a personal best for like the last 2 years, 10 years.
No, not 10 years.
I wouldn't have run any more than this.
Didn't you say you were doing it? You said you were doing it
yeah.
recently.
I wouldn't have run any more than this. Right. And this is my best time. So I'm like, I'm improving.
Yep.
7 kilometres.
7.5.
No, not even 7.2.
7.2. Give yourself the extra 200 metres.
Oh, I'm giving them 7.2. So it's a lap and a bit it's 2 laps. Centennial. Shout out to Centennial Park for hosting me. Really appreciated it. Thank you, Centennial Park. It's a great way to like test yourself each time. I know what I'm doing. Steph's like, do you need to run at Centennial? I'm like, yes, because I need to see improvement or at least know there isn't any. But there was, and I pushed the boat out. I've really been doing like 4s and 6s, and then I went, Daddy, you need to start fucking taking this thing seriously. So 7 is closer to 42 than 6 is, so I think that's a win. What wasn't necessarily a win was when I finished, I was like, I knew the tree that I started at, so I'm like, all right, you've got like maybe 200 metres here, just like push it to the fucking tree. As I get to the tree, I'm starting to feel like a bit unwell. And there's this chick that overtook me maybe like a kilometre before. And then just through the nature of the pacing, we were kind of just with each other for this whole time, which was fine. But, sometimes you get a little bit close to someone and it just sort of fucks you because you're like, I'm not going quick enough to overtake them, but I'm also not going slow enough for them to disappear. So we were doing this weird cat and mouse thing for like a kilometre maybe. And then with the final 200, I'm like, I'm just going to burn this bitch and leave her in the dust.
Yep.
So I've pulled out and just gassed her. As I get to the tree of 2 laps fame, I basically just like collapse onto it and I just start booting. And there's like families, very busy Sunday morning at Centennial, and I'm like, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm done. Okay, I think, and it just wouldn't stop. Thankfully, more dry reaching than vomiting. I still vomited, but most of it was like just the inference of vomit was en route. But what I did experience, and you know what? This is where I come to share with everyone. And I don't know exactly what this phenomena was, but in the sort of guttural region of a man, I don't know the sort of, like, there's obviously some like muscles in there. I don't know if there's things that connect like directly to your testicles. Like something like, you know, it's just some...
Where's the gooch coming from? So you're saying as you're vomiting...
Just listen. As you're vomiting, you're like, you're tensing everything.
Yep.
And...
How long did you vomit for?
A minute?
A minute?
But not as in I was in the dry reaching overwhelm for about a minute. Give or take 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Minute's a long time.
I mean, I was not in a good spot.
Right. I'm looking
but
for...
it's like, I'm
just looking for clarity around what happened.
Well,
but it's not all like output in the whole minute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like, okay. And then
how many reloads do you reckon you had?
4 or 5.
Okay. I'm just getting the lay of the land.
No, it's fine, and I appreciate it.
Details are important.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always.
So as I'm doing it though, I'm getting quite an intense cramp in my gooch/testes region, and so quite like ungracefully, I am throwing up whilst trying to like stop a cramp in my balls, and I'm just hyper aware of how. Not only do I already look like a complete fucking idiot throwing up at like 11 on a Sunday, but I'm like, and you'll have to watch on YouTube. I'm standing up with this mic. Like, if you imagine me, where's my mic? Where's it? I'm like, ah! Now,
dude, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Has this for...
What's up? Who are you looking for? 29.
Is it shop one? Yeah,
nah,
so you see on the door
shop
there?
one there.
It says on the door.
Thanks, mate.
It's in load. Anyway. The sign's
made no difference.
Look, punters and dribblers, we have had issues with people just walking into the studio just because they don't know where the fuck the door to like the apartment complex
Which is fine.
Which is cool, I get that. We thought that a sign on the door, which clearly states our address, as in like shop one, may deter someone looking for apartment 504 away from our door. We are, probably an hour into Monday morning shenanigans, and it's made no difference at all. Seemingly.
And it's very obvious on the door. It's not like something you got to look for. We made it very plain and simple that if you're...
We made it matter of fact.
Yeah. This is shop one.
Not apartment 504. Anyway.
So cramping in the gooch and the nuts whilst vomiting.
Is this a new phenomenon for you?
No, I've had it before when I've booted, but it was just like... It wasn't something where I was like, oh, I've never experienced this feeling. Put it that way. Hopefully nothing medical, but...
Do you think maybe just like your booting technique is off? You're putting too much strain on one part of your body to take all the weight?
Honestly, dude, and you know what? Maybe, but I don't have much control of my technique when I'm in the throes of passion. So I'm just sort of like... I don't know. Reach out, doctors.
Yeah, I'd like to see what, if any, there is
Well,
a medical explanation for what's occurred.
Yeah.
well, like they have ear, nose, and throat doctors. Do you think there's a boot, balls, and
Boot,
cramp
balls, and butt doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe. Listen, I'm happy to go and have a quack fondle. But it's not really my testes, to be honest.
But so what was cramping then?
Like in the gooch region, just felt like a cramp in there. And then you have to stretch it out and we're good.
Look,
It is what it is, guys.
it is what it is, punters and dribblers. It is what it is. I don't know. If a doctor's got an explanation for things, reach out, let us know. But I don't have any explanation for
No,
it.
and I mean, we won't. I mean, I'm not going to go looking for it. I think it's just a cramp. That's what it felt like. I think the worst part of it was how I appeared to the public generally. You could argue, well, you just recreated it on your podcast, which is even worse.
Kids around, families around.
Yeah, dude, it was one of those.
It was busy at Centennial.
It was
I ran after you.
very busy.
I ran after you and it was busy. I tell you what. You know you're not elite as a runner when people move past you in one stride. Just like you hear them and then they're gone immediately.
Dude, I saw.
Some people move at such a pace.
I was getting overtaken by fuckers in like skate shoes and shit. I'm like, this guy clearly isn't running. Like I've got proper running shoes on and this guy's in skate shoes. I'm like, this guy's just rolled off the couch. He's had a night on the bongs. He's like, I got to turn things around.
By turning the etnies over,
Yeah.
as it were.
Yeah, exactly. Churning the etnies
Churning
out,
the
pounding
etnies.
the etnies.
Sometimes you got to churn the etnies.
Yep.
Churn those etnies. So that was yesterday, Sunday. Tom, I've got a confession. Mm-hmm. We've got to come in here on the show and bare our souls.
Yep.
I was caught in a situation last night that deteriorated quickly. I think it's fair to say.
Mm-hmm.
An alarming situation in which we found ourselves. I was sitting on the couch enjoying the fruits of Sunday evening by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Elsa's in Melbourne, coming back with some friends. They've been down there for some wedding dress activities.
Mm-hmm.
We're dealing with a sale of New South Wales jumpers that's going rather well. So I'd said to Elsa, listen, I can't pick you up. Not going to be possible. As we continue, sales going well, no issues, which is what you and I always look for.
Yeah.
We look for zero issues.
Zero, and by zero, we mean none. 502 gateways.
And when I'd seen that there was no 502 gateways on our periphery, on our horizon, in our life, in our current moment, I was like, we're looking okay here. She was still waiting for a bag. She's like, this place is fucking busy. I'm like, well, I'll come get you then. Jump in the car. I didn't realise, Tom, how fucking busy it was going to be.
Oh.
It was fucking busy.
Really?
As busy as I've ever seen it.
Domestic Sunday night.
Domestic Sunday night. Don't know what happened. Don't know what the go is. But fucking busy. Lining up to get into like the express car park took me like an hour and a half.
So not that express
Remove the express
car park.
to get into the car park. I mean, if ever there was one of the most gross misrepresentations of what something was, it was Sunday night at the airport last night. There was nothing express about it. And getting across the lanes to get into your lane was a fucking shit show. Literally, probably an hour and a half to get in.
So, like, I mean, she almost would have been better just to, like, walk her bags home.
Her, Steph, Ruby, all three of them. They would have been better off to walk back in, get into the fucking, like, get onto the train and leave. But I was balls deep by this point. I can't really leave this line that I'm in.
You're stuck.
Do you know, I'm stuck. Stuck, meandering, stuck, just doing my best. But I got Stories of Origin on. I'm going okay. But the girls are frantic. The girls are like, this is fucking outrageous. We've been waiting a long time. Tonka's with me as well. I'd forgotten that I was picking up other people, so I've got Tonka. Too many people. I've got fucking 3 or 4 suitcases I've got to pick up, plus 2, like, the thing about girls that you need to realise, punters and dribblers, is that they don't travel light.
No.
And when you've got 3 big suitcases and 2 small ones, plus a dog to get in the car, fucking
3 big suitcases plus 2 small ones.
plus a pooch.
Did they? I mean, I'm assuming they did some retail therapy down there. Like they've come back
retail-
with more than they left with.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
there's retail, and I think that they almost take a suitcase
In preparation.
for retail therapy.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is something that we've always never really fully understood.
No. Well, you and I tried to go shopping in Melbourne and we bought nothing.
Well, we bought one thing. You bought a long sleeve shirt that you hated.
No, I didn't mind the shirt.
Well, you didn't seem pumped about it when you bought it.
It was a means to an end. I needed a shirt because I didn't bring enough clothes. That's the difference.
So I pull in there. Girls are frantic. The dog's fucking anxious now because there's cunts everywhere and it's just intense. And I'm looking for somewhere to pull over the fucking vehicle. And it's just jammed in there. There is nowhere to pull over. Nowhere at all. So I see, there was some like cars sort of like driving and going across this disabled car park and then like going out. But there was a line going all the way around. So technically like you could say they were cutting in. But I was just like, that's the way that people are fucking flowing. That's the way this thing's flowing. So, and it's also a good spot for me to pull up, get out, because I was in the ute. I'm in the fucking the other car. So I have to get out and like pack the car and organise and shit. I'm like, this is an opportunity for me to get out.
I was going to say, if you're in the ute, that wouldn't have been too much of an issue.
But I wasn't.
No, you weren't.
But I wasn't. So I pull over, we get out, we're jamming shit in, I'm trying to make it fit. Then Ella's like squeezing the back with Tonka, blah, blah, blah. And then there's like cars flowing out in front of me. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just follow them. Not knowing the lay of the land in the car park, right? Haven't been there long enough. There's a lay of the land, clearly.
Yep.
So I get out and I'm driving. And then as I'm like following this car out, there's a guy standing in front of my car. I'm like, what the fuck's this cunt doing? I'm like, oi, mate, move. He's not saying anything. And I'm like, what's this guy doing? Maybe he can't hear me. I'm like, oi, move. He's like, nah, not moving. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's your problem? Then the girls start yelling at him, move, move, move. And then I try and go around him, right? I'm trying to like pull around him and shit. And he keeps walking in front of the car. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like edging forward trying to go around this cunt. So Ruby gets out of the car and she's like, they're blowing up. And he's like, you fucking cut the line. And I'm like, I didn't even fucking know there was a line. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm on this thing and I'm like, I can't go backwards. And it's like, it's hectic now.
Oh my
and all
God.
these people are like yelling at us and shit. And I'm like, oh my God. Do you know, it's, you know, when you get yourself in a situation with like a fight with the missus, we've talked about this before, and you don't know you're in one. And then,
Yeah.
oh fuck, I'm
in a fight now.
In one.
Yeah.
And because I hadn't been in the car park long enough, I didn't really realise the way that the cars were going out. I just followed some others.
Were those cars cutting as well?
Yes.
Right. So you were just following them.
I was following them, but
and
like
then made you cutting, but you weren't realising that.
But I followed them because I'm like, there's a spot for me to pull over. Yeah, it was a disabled car park, but like there was nothing else, and I had to get the fucking shit in the car. Dogs wigging out. Took what I could. Didn't seem exactly like people were pulling in there to get out and fucking stroll around either. Do you know what I mean? It was like, take what you could. Mm-hmm. But this guy's taken full umbrage with me, like fucking cutting off. He could have made umbrage with the 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 other cars that did it before me. But anyway, umbrage was taken with me. And then Ruby gets out and he's fucking barking at this cunt, and they're fucking barking back. And then Ella's out the window fucking screaming and shit. And I'm like, oh my God. I was having the most chilled Sunday night. I was so fucking rancho relaxo at home. Do you know, I'd almost pressed fucking order on like some fucking Chinese. It would have been so chilled. And now I find myself in like hell, as it were.
How did this resolve?
And so I'm like, this guy's not going to fucking let me move. Like, he's like, you fucking nearly run me over and shit. I didn't really run you up, like edging around you and shit.
But also you're standing in front of the car, dude. Like,
Exactly. But he's fucking furious because he's seen me. He's like, I've been waiting 2 hours. I've been waiting fucking an hour and a half to get into this fucking joint. Anyway, a spot clears up behind me, so I reverse back out, and then we just like meander around. I'm like, that was the most intense fucking situation and embarrassing that I may have ever been in.
How long was it going for?
5 minutes. But like Ella's like out, fucking move the car, and everyone's barking and yelling and shit. And I'm like, this isn't what I signed up for. Because I'd been so chilled in the car listening to my fucking podcast.
How was Tonka?
He was stressed. He was a bit overwhelmed.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, bruh, move the fucking car. I just want to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, nah. And so then it just got worse and worse.
What was this guy's, how old was he?
20s.
20s.
Like,
was it fisticuff territory?
not on my behalf.
No, but it could have been. Like, was it?
Look, put it this way. another man, a different man, a man not named me, probably gets out and flogs him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether I'm in the right or I'm in the wrong,
it's just that's the
just
energy.
like that's the energy that was in the room, right? And then we get out of it, and I'm just like, that was.
Now, did you take this man's park? Did you go around?
No.
No.
He didn't want us to leave before him because he'd been waiting longer. That's what it was.
Okay, so it was already to leave.
Because like you get in there, like when you get into this car park, there is literally cars in front of you, cars on the right, cars parked on the left. Doesn't seem to like.
There's no order.
The immediate lay of the land is not obvious.
Right.
At least it wasn't to me. And then I see these cars moving, so I'm like, well, that's me. I'll just follow them. Little did I know, there's actually a full-on line. Yada yada yada.
Did you say like
he didn't care?
Right.
Like, energy was so hot and heavy in this fucking car park. I've never seen anything like it. People were fucking ropeable. And they saw me trying to take the piss. Like, I was taking what seemed to be an easy route as opposed to I'm going to fucking cut in front of some person waiting 2 hours.
Yes,
Do you know what I mean?
yes,
but
yes,
then when
yes,
it
yes.
dawns on you, you're like,
oh, I was in the wrong.
oh, fuck, I actually am in the wrong.
So it's a hard one to be like G'ing up
So I
about.
didn't G up at all.
Yeah,
but the
yeah,
girls who've lived this nightmare are into it. And I'm like, this just isn't my style nor my energy. Like, get me the fuck out of here. And there's nowhere to go.
So what's Ruby doing when she's out of there?
She's like out of the car and they're like barking at each other and shit. She's like, I don't know what they were saying, but they were having a go. It was all happening.
Fuck
it was wild.
You might have had to have got out and thrown down if he'd gone too serious.
Moral of the story, punters and dribblers, there is a moral.
Don't pick up your missus from the airport.
And I said to her, I go, listen, darling, I know, you know that I love you. Know this. Know that I love you and I always will. But there will be no airport pickups anymore.
That's it.
I'm just putting a line for it. You don't know what you're going to get out there.
No.
You don't know what you're going to get. Like, it was so fucked on the way in. People were jumping out of the cars, like, basically on the highway and running to the airport because they're like, well, they're going to miss their flights. It was a fucking shit show. To get from, like, the KFC to the Macca's took, like, 20 minutes. That's
Why?
100 metres difference. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like,
at the moment it's like
we
worse,
complain,
right?
Like, we complained about Melbourne Airport, but then I saw that, I'm like, bruh, this place is
Well,
fucked.
Melbourne Airport's just a shithole.
Well, that was just a poor choice of fast food.
Yeah, but generally it's a shithole. You know what I mean? Like,
And it's in fucking Tullamarine, which is in a paddock and shit. Like, I'm not saying any of that. I'm merely saying.
I am. I'm saying that you can do more to make your fucking airport a little less shit.
All I'm saying is Sydney Airport, which I used to have on a pedestal, has now fallen off.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to work out if that's from the chaos of like post-COVID world. I remember when they had like during the long weekend, there was like an Easter long weekend, I think, and it was bedlam at the airports. I wasn't there. This was like all on the radio. I'm sure Jim Wilson was beating his dick about it at some point. And they had someone on from where maybe it was like from the airport or something like, oh, well, you know, we're doing some upgrades and shit. And they're like, hey, dickheads, you had 2 fucking years of no travel to do upgrades. And then now you're saying, and I think Alan Joyce came out and was like, oh, people aren't used to fucking flying. It's like, bruh, it's not that difficult. You drop your bags, you go through, and you fucking move on. Don't try and blame the customer. You fucking losers just haven't got your shit together.
I don't think the place is set up properly.
No.
It doesn't feel set up right. Like there's roadworks and shit going on there, but and there's like, they seem to be building like an overpass of some description. I don't know what the fuck's going on out there, dude, but it's a fucking shit show. And it ruined my Sunday night. Ruined it.
You know what? I reckon it would have been even worse / hilarious if that guy was a dribbler.
Didn't seem to be. Who knows?
He might be more forgiving, or maybe the video would be on the P's and D's page already.
Maybe.
Which would be nice.
It would be. It would be.
Imagine that. Imagine our weekend if there's 2 videos on the P's and D's page after the Friday night one with Manly, and one of them is me fucking getting gooch cramps as I vomit in a park while you're getting into a fight in a car park.
Yeah, getting absolutely berated.
Yep. It hasn't been our best weekend.
I can safely say, Tom, that it hasn't. And it started on Friday night.
Yeah.
Not Friday day.
No.
Friday day was unbelievable.
Fantastic
But you could
day.
argue, Thomas, you could argue strongly, you could argue in the court of law that the weekend starts Friday evening. When's the Manly game? 6 p.m. Friday, officially the weekend, which started off a cunt of a weekend.
One of the great cunts of weekends. Now,
So that's where we're at, punters.
that's where we're at. And we should probably just get into it. The podcast this week, Punters and Dribblers, brought to you by our good friends at Pilot, the online men's health portal. Now, I tell you what, Eddie.
What?
Last week was Men's Health Week.
It was.
There's some fucking crazy yarns and stats around Men's Health Week, one of which took my wandering eye. 7 out of 10 Australian men overweight or obese. You reckon I'd be on that list?
I think medically, like
Yes.
by the leather of the
Yes.
law, I'm here to tell you, buddy, that you would be. and that's, I'm not like coming at you for that.
No.
I'm just saying that, like, you
That's
as an
the
old
reality.
friend, like, I love you, dude. You know that.
And I love you.
I'm just pointing out, like, what would be, you would medically be considered
Correct.
overweight.
And you know what the whole thing about Men's Health Week was last week, Eddie? It was about making conversations around just men's health, not just mental health, which is its own thing, but just men's health generally.
Yep.
Just making it comfortable to have conversations. And for you to be able to go to me, hey, buddy, you're overweight. And then for me to go, hey, mate, you're a piece of shit.
No.
No. Hey, mate,
Thanks.
thank you.
And then I go,
Appreciate it.
and I go, hey, mate, have you heard of Pilot?
And I go, you know what? I have heard about him, but tell me more.
So Pilot is an online men's health portal, right, where they can help you and men across Australia with any of the ailments that they may be encountering online in
Wow.
a safe and discreet place. So you get assigned a doctor that you talk to online, and then you get prescribed medication that's delivered discreetly to your door so no one really knows if you don't want people to know. Do you know what I mean? So if you're worried or insecure about your weight loss issues, you can get
Mental health, backney, crackney, sackney. Fucking dick's not working.
Exactly. That's thanks to Pilot. Pilot is revolutionising this motherfucking game, punters and dribblers.
So go to pilot.com.au/hello sport.
That's it.
Promo code Dribblers. Your first doctor's consultation will be for free. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get the ball rolling, punters and dribblers.
Roll the
Let's get it
ball.
rolling.
Roll the ball. Roll the ball.
Go on.
Roll the ball. Roll the ball. Roll that ball. Pilot.com.au/hello sport.
Promo code Dribblers.
When we talk rugby league on the show, punters and dribblers, we do it on behalf of our dear and beloved and gorgeous friends at KO.
Gorgeous.
They are gorgeous. We love them. They love us. Surprise, surprise. But we love them. And we love them because they provide the opportunity to watch 8 games of uninterrupted rugby league every single fucking week, ad-free during play. And if anything's going to get you horny, and if anything's going to get you feeling better about a shit weekend, it's KO.
Now, that being said, the exclusive Friday night 6 p.m. game that is on KO, you could argue, ruined my weekend, or at least kicked off the worst weekend. Now, thankfully, one of the small mercies generally of the entire of this situation was that I was relatively intoxicated and forget a large part of the game. But I did force myself to watch some highlights, so I didn't really forget that much.
I remember a lot of it.
I remember it, but it's like I don't remember.
I remember Lachlan Croker.
I don't remember the tide turning.
No, I remember the tide turning. I remember the turning of the tide with 7 to go. I believe that. Oh, I know. I remember.
72 minutes, Reece Robson.
You and I were in the throes of passion.
Yeah. Well, because it was like, look at us. Look at this fucking rugby league side, the Manly Seagulls.
Tom and
pounding the fucking Cowboys.
Look
at us.
We're enjoying a nice game of pool, like getting so hot and heavy over Lachlan Croker and how he'd become, in front of our very eyes, the greatest hooker in the comp. We were tweeting about it. We're putting fucking Instagrams up. Like, life was so good.
Manly 13 plus, suck our balls. Like,
Life was so good.
yeah. Ruben fucking scoring, lipping up to Val, just like it was hot.
Like, life was beyond good.
Yeah.
Beyond good. And I remember saying something, and look, maybe upon reflection, I need to take some ownership for what happened. I think I do.
What?
I turned to you and I said, they've got to score 3 times in 7 minutes. Like, home and
Yeah,
home.
we got this in the bag.
Airlie Crotus.
Well,
I remember saying it to you.
I think even when Reece Robson scored, I remember going, obviously I'm not stoked that Reece went over, but I'm like, fuck it. The game's done. Like, they still need to score 2 more times. We're good.
Yeah, we were good.
We were good.
We were so good.
We were fine. Everything was good until it wasn't good. Until it really wasn't good. And then it got worse. And even down to the final fucking try, I believe this is how it went. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but we kick off to the Cowboys after they score. Then they knock it on off the kickoff, and I'm like, suck a dick. We're on here. We're on. Then DCE knocks on, and I'm like, oh, fuck. But, okay, he's knocked on. There's a few minutes to go, but, like, hopefully we just defend now. Like, what the fuck's going on here? But, no, then it just went knock on straight into Valentine Holmes' hands, and he ran away and scored. There was some fucking awful defense. And, I'm glad that I, Will Smithed myself in Men in Black, so I don't remember how bad, but I know it was bad enough because we fucking lost. I
have a distinct memory of Cherry Evans off the back of the scrum running it right and getting really lateral. That's my memory. And then going to pass, knocked out of the hand, ball drops in front of him, Valentine Holmes picks it up and puts the fucking afterburners on, dude, and just goes.
Yeah.
And as one Manly player after another fall off him, and then Kieran Foran unable to get there, Hammy's burning. That's when reality.
Then Jason Saab of Fastest Man Alive, cover defense going, here we go, like made up the ground easy as piss on Val, and then goes in to tackle him and just flies off him. And I'm not blaming Jace specifically. I'm blaming all of them.
And I can safely say in that moment, when the weight of the world hits you, it was comfortably worse than Sunday night balls deep in that car park.
Oh, no.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it was
like
the worst.
That was the worst experience of my weekend.
That was the worst
right
part
there
of the
and
weekend.
Because I knew how close we'd come to knocking off a top 4 side and being able to give the fucking bird to everyone. We're still undefeated at Brookvale. We're not flat track bullies. Fuck the lot of you. Manly's coming. Manly's going to win the com. Look how fucking hot we are. And then for that to happen in front of my very eyes, Tom.
After a really fun day.
After a fucking fun day. I'm like, what have we done to deserve this?
Yeah.
What have we done?
That's why, like,
that's when you like, oh, we are cursed, dude.
Yeah. And if you see the video on the IG of our, like, us experiencing that moment, like, it literally took my ability to stand away from me and you. We just collapsed to the floor. Like, that was, you could see that there was nothing planned about that. That was just 2 men collapsing in unison.
You don't plan a collapse.
No.
You don't, what, I'm going to pre-plan, if Valentine Holmes goes down the fucking win here in the last fucking minute, we lose, a collapse. No, I don't think so.
That was just 2 men broken.
Like, yeah.
Someone kneecapped us.
That's your spirit leaving your body.
Yeah.
And when your spirit leaves you, your body collapses in
folds
a heap.
on itself.
It folds on. But not like a Rancho Relaxo wallet vibe.
No.
Not like that sort of wallet.
Not
like a bad wallet.
No, really bad fold. A really bad fold. Collapse to the ground. You know what? That one as well. It's like, I don't care about the licks. Sometimes I do. This one, it's like, you don't even lick me all you want. That moment was all the pain that I'm full of pain now. No licks. Every lick's just going to bounce off me. Mate, I don't give a fuck. That was the most painful moment I've had in rugby league for a very, very long time.
Lick off a dribbler's back. You know what I mean? I'm not going to feel that one. I'm just not going to feel that one.
No.
I've lived
through that.
I've lived through that. I had to live through that. It was good eyes up. Telling Dior to film it. I don't know if that was your idea, if Dior's idea.
I have no recollection, dude. Dave was filming us.
Dave was filming us. More in anticipation, I think, for a famous win.
To be honest, I don't think Dave would have been filming us in anticipation of a win. Well, I don't think he'd want to document that. I think Dave was like, I see something coming.
I think maybe that's what I might have told you I was doing. Yeah. Really inside, I was like, I cannot wait for Valentine Holmes to pick up a loose ball and win the game.
Yeah, that one's like was particularly hard to stomach.
Can I spin this?
Of course you can.
Can I put some spin on this?
Well, we're gonna have to. We've gone down to rock bottom and we're mellowing here, but now it's about like climbing
Spinning
out.
it. Let's spin it.
Let's climb out.
I personally think that Manly turboless, it basically took what clearly is a curse of some note to stop us from beating a premiership contender. We won that game, save for the greatest curse we've currently come to know in rugby league history.
Put it this way, Tom. Were we the better side?
Yes.
Yes, we were. For 72 minutes, we were the better side.
75.
75, until the curse kicked in earnest. We were the better side. We played better footy. We played footy in that game, like it or lump it, dickheads, that could win you a comp.
Yeah.
That's a fact. If you look at some of that footy played, it was top tier, top echelon.
If you watch, you watch until the 72nd minute, that's great footy. Now, yeah, don't worry. We know it's an 80-minute game, plus extra time if you're drawn. But the curse did kick in when it kicked in. So it's a loss. We take it. It was painful. It will follow me for the rest of my days. A piece of me is left at Brookvale that night, or actually in the Bells pub on the floor with that Queenslander chick screaming into my ear that I'm fucking not a manly man, which was fair at the time because we were lipping up hard to her and it all went to shit. But a piece of me died that day. We did lose, but I actually think there's more positives to take out of it than negatives, and that's basically that we're better than the Cowboys.
We are better than Cowboys, and even Cowboys fans would admit that.
Yeah.
Now, the curse got us in the last 5 minutes, but you have to admit, punters and dribblers, you have to admit that letting in 3 tries under those circumstances, in the way it happened, you've got to admit that has curse written all over it. You have to admit that.
You can't see that and think,
You have to admit that.
That's just a normal way of rugby league going, no, dude, that's Curse City.
Curse City.
Is there an Indiana Jones and the Lost Curse or something?
The Curse of the Crystal Skull?
Yeah, probably.
Surely there's an Indiana Jones and the curse of the rugby league side.
Yeah.
Surely there is.
And Indiana Jones and the Curse of the Manly Seagulls.
There's a book, Indiana Jones and the Curse of the Horror Island.
No, the Curse of the Manly Seagulls. I think you misread
Curse
that.
of the Peninsula. Similar. Island, Peninsula.
Yep.
Look, I'm going to appropriate it.
Curse of the Manly Seagulls.
We are cursed. We know that. Tom and I now have to
Go back to the drawing board, curse.
Well, we almost need to go into the forest, dude, and start talking to the mystics and going, what's going on here? What's this going to take?
Yeah.
Because we've tried to do a purge.
We did a sage session. Then we thought that the curse was broken when we humped the Warriors. That may have just been a false dawn because they're so shit.
We tried to purge, didn't work. Didn't work. Hasn't worked. There's still clearly something going on. Seb of About Even fame has said to us on several occasions that he thinks what this requires is the boiling of something.
Yeah.
He's a big boiler guy. He's like a cauldron guy.
He's a cauldron guy.
He loves cauldrons.
Maybe we need one of those shit black jerseys from the Manly, and we need to boil that thing.
Do we need... Have you seen that there's another jersey?
I didn't want to talk about it.
There is another jersey.
Yeah, I know.
What is that?
I don't know, dude. I don't want to talk about it. Obviously, we love the club, but their penchant for fucking odd jerseys is starting to wear thin with me, and I don't think we need to draw any attention to it. But maybe a good boil is what we are lacking.
I think so.
With the fire bubble, cauldron bubble or something.
Fire, bubble, and cauldron and bubble. A Harry Potter reference?
Yeah, I don't know. Something.
No. It's
Boil
like
and trouble?
Yeah,
Bubble,
bubble, toil and trouble.
Yep.
Nailed it. It's a rhyming couplet from Macbeth. So
Well, yeah, look, sorry that I'm fucking bringing Shakespeare to you people.
yeah,
Just a bit of
double,
culture.
toil and trouble, fire burn, and cauldron bubble.
Yeah, there you go.
That's from Macbeth?
That is from Macbeth.
Macbeth didn't end well.
I don't think many
Not
of his
for
plays
Macbeth
did.
it did. It didn't. Macbeth.
Was Macbeth considered a tragedy? We do not want to align ourselves with
With
Macbeth.
Macbeth. No, we don't.
Dude, no way.
How's Macbeth wrap up against
Dude,
someone?
Macbeth wraps up horribly.
Yeah, doesn't Macbeth's wife like kill him or some shit?
I think they both go mad, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
is Macbeth the one where he goes crazy and kills everyone so he can become king?
No. He doesn't go crazy. He kills,
but he hallucinates seeing shit.
No. He kills the king to become king.
Yeah.
And that in turn fucks him up.
Right.
I don't see any similarities between Macbeth and the Man Who Said.
No, neither
I've
do
just
I.
got to make that super clear.
Patently clear. No connection. Fuck Macbeth, actually.
Fuck Macbeth, dude. Not aligned whatsoever. Not the same thing.
Not the same thing. Not the same thing. So where to now? Like, I don't think we've got the greatest run. I think it's a buy round this weekend, though,
Yeah.
isn't it? So we can go back and just fucking. I think a lot of guys need to probably just go into a dark room for a week. Dark room stuff. Head in the pillow. Cry. Reflect. Cry. Reflect.
And then, do you know who Manly have got after?
Yeah, I think that was
As in Thursday week.
Yeah.
As in the next game of NRL football to be played.
Yeah, as in Thursday week. I've got a pretty good idea.
Where is that being played?
That is on the aforementioned cursed peninsula. At 4 Curse Park. Cursevale.
Yeah, so that's against the Panthers, right?
That's against Storm.
That's 'cause-
Oh, it's against the Storm.
Yes.
I like our chances against the Storm.
So do I.
The Panthers not so much, but the Storm, we can get the Storm. We can get them done easy. Probably do a live stream for that as well, so you can see us fucking get our hearts broken again. Cool. So that's Manly. That's Manly. I think we leave that there just personally.
I think so.
I don't really give a fuck about the rest of the weekend though. Just go through the results because I probably don't even remember them.
Newcastle lost.
Rabbitohs lost, love that. Manly lost, hate that. Storm won, predicted that. Sharks won, shit game, but predicted it. Obviously, the Panthers pumped the Warriors. Eels, Roosters, poor old Tommy Tobler missed out on a big, fat, juicy fucking same game multi, sucked in Tobler. Raiders beat the Knights. That's a heartbreaker for the Knights. Sucked in the Knights.
Did you watch the end of that game?
Yeah, dude, I did.
It was good.
Shout out to Hudson Young. He's a good player. And then the Dogs beat the Tigers. We all predicted that. Tigers now in real shitsville.
Dude, those knuckleballs that Burton puts up are fucking the bombs.
Yeah, they're
are
huge.
So good, dude.
Have the Bulldogs gone on a 3-game win streak since Trent Barrett left? Or is it 2-game win streak?
No, it's 2 at the moment.
I think 2, but they also, they said some stats. The first time they've scored 30 points 2 games in a row since 2014 or 2016 or something.
Dude, is Mick Potter like...
I don't know, is Mick Potter good or is Trent Barrett bad? Or both. Both can be true.
I don't know. That's the long and the short of it, punters and dribblers, is I have no idea. Zero idea.
Dude, 30-18 was their first one against Penrith. That's not bad, right? Like for the Dogs, you expect them to get humped to death by the Panthers. 30-18, not bad.
Although I think that was
It
Panthers
was. They
without,
had a lot of players
without
out,
Origin
didn't they?
players.
Yeah, fair, cool. Then they pound the Eels and then fucking pound the Tigers.
It was a bloodbath yesterday for the Tigers. A bloodbath.
Yep.
Can you get the ladder up?
Because we would have... Do you want to hear something else that scat Eddie? We'd be in the 8 if we'd won.
The Dragons are in the 8?
Yeah, but I mean, again, the Dragons don't scare anyone. I love that the Roosters are out of the 8. That's nice.
Go to the bottom. Titans. 1 win above, 1 win below. Warriors 1 win above the Titans. And I tell you what, Rain Man's predictions some months ago that the Warriors are a good price to win the spoon. You could get
26, I think it was at the time.
unbelievable. It's now looking like, oh shit, that might have been a good bet.
Yeah.
They got to get below the Titans, who are, doing their fucking utmost to remain rooted to the bottom of the table. But not a bad bet at all.
Not a bad bet.
I will say this, Tom. Seeing the Roosters fall outside the 8 turns me on.
Yeah. It's a silver lining.
It turns me on. Because I got to tell you, Roosters fans, your side's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and you
And the
guys
fact
were-
that you're coming 9th is deplorable.
Dude, Suwali though, Suwali, he's the truth.
He's the truth.
He's the absolute truth.
He doesn't tell Porky.
No, dude, he's the truth. He is so good, and he gets better every week. You're like, he's 18, Eddie. He's 18 years young.
Yeah. Not 18 years old.
No, 18 years young. And getting better every week. Really good looking dude. Not that it's important, but it helps. Big, strong,
Tom,
big,
can I tell you something?
takes a tough carry, chips for himself to score
Do
a try.
you think it hurts that he's got Adonis about him? Do you think that hurts?
I'd like to see him with his shirt off a bit more, post game even, or just in the sheds. I haven't seen enough of it.
Look, I'd like to see, if we don't get shed work, which is what I'd like,
I need a bit more shed.
then I need a calendar.
Yep.
I need like young hot Adonises in the NRL.
I tell you what,
I wouldn't even mind a Sawali calendar,
Yeah.
just different looks for different seasons.
So it doesn't even have to be like obviously shirtless, but you know.
Well, I think shirtless in the summer months. Coming into spring, he starts to show a bit more ab.
But I think even.
Or do you want the whole thing shirtless?
Well, I think winter he's got a fur coat on, but it's open and there's a shirtless underneath. And then spring he is maybe in
a meadow.
Well, he's in a meadow and he's starting to wear
pruning roses?
But he's wearing
with a
maybe
shirt
some
off?
shorts or some loose pants, like some light.
No, I think light fluffy pants.
light linen pants.
Light linen pants, shirt
Shirtless.
off. Oh no, shirt open.
Linen shirt matching open. Then summer
Dickies. That's it.
Yeah.
And then autumn, I don't know, maybe for no other reason than it's hot, he's got some fire engine, like he's got some fireman overalls on.
See what else we could do. Autumn. What happens? What happens in autumn?
Deciduous trees lose their leaves.
Correct. And what populates the ground in autumn?
Leaf cover.
Yeah.
Leaf cover.
Yeah. So what we do is we rake up a bunch of leaves. You have him laying in a pile of leaves, completely nude, just leaves covering the hog.
Yep.
And obviously shirtless.
Yeah. Well, obviously shirtless because he's naked.
Yeah. Correct.
So, goes without saying.
But I just thought it was worth reiterating shirtless.
So like a Suwali in a pile.
Suwali in a pile of leaves.
Yeah.
Autumn Suwali.
Fall Suwali.
Yeah. Well, fall's American.
I know.
It's autumn.
But we're selling into the US as well.
Oh, it was true. We are trying to crack the US market. The NRL, let's take Manly South over there. Let's get a Suwali calendar going.
Let's do it.
Or make him play shirtless. I don't know. Anyway, not important.
That's Rugby League. Shout out to KO. We appreciate your support. If you want to watch the NRL, watch it on KO. Why the fuck would you watch it anywhere else? Make smart decisions. Make smart decisions. Make smart decisions.
Keep the decisions smart, punters, dribblers. That's all we're asking. So State of Origin teams have been named. I think Queensland have made two changes that were basically forced through injury. Tuolangi on the wing for... Coates. And then who's come in for... Is it Jai Arrow in for...
In for Cotter.
Cotter?
Yep.
And
Bench
then
is the same?
bench is the same. Everything's the same.
Is Nanai fit? Or was he just in the squad?
Yeah, Nanai's in. He's 17.
Yep. Why did I think he was injured?
Because he got injured in game one.
But he's okay.
But he's fine.
That's right. Okay.
Sometimes you can roll an ankle and think that it's literally broken, and then it's like, oh, no, it just hurt.
Now, on the flip side of things, punters and dribblers, the New South Wales side...
Have made 50 million changes.
7 to be specific.
Yep.
Which seems like a lot.
Listen.
Now, I've been listening to a lot of feel-good rhetoric.
Yep.
Whether it be on 6 tackles with Gus or 100% footy.
Or on Twitter.
And also having listened to Stories of Origin, I feel like I've got a sense for Phil now.
Yeah.
He was of the opinion that it was fucking way closer than people are making out and that wholesale changes weren't necessary. Now, we've had to make a couple for various reasons, but 7 seems like a lot.
7 seems like a lot. Now, we start any New South Wales chat with IFWT. In Freddie we trust.
I think the changes he's made, this is personal preference here, some of the inclusions I would have liked to have seen game one.
Yes.
Now, Jake Trbojevic off the top, I'm like, that motherfucker is literally built for Origin.
Yeah. Hard work.
That is like, he will not fucking let you down. He can play up front. He can play in the back at back row. He can
ball play.
He can ball
He
play.
can come off the bench.
And he's a fucking toiler, and he sets the fucking tone.
Yep.
And I just felt like leaving a motherfucker like him out. Like, you hear about all this Queensland spirit shit. Like, you want guys to just do a fucking job. They don't want recognition. They just go out there and fucking do the damn thing. Like a Cotter.
Like what Billy said, Ruben Cotter is Queensland. Jake Trbojevic is New South Wales.
That's what we were saying. But I was like look, you and I got hot under the collar when he was left out the first time. And this is not just as a Manly man. This is literally just like calling it as I fucking goddamn see it.
Yeah, nothing to do with Manly.
And I'm like, you don't leave a motherfucker like that out. Who's literally never put a foot wrong in Origin. You just don't do that.
No.
And I said the same of Angus Crichton. Now, he may be a dear friend, but it doesn't change how I feel.
He might be someone that we catch up with for fucking breakfast, lunches and dinners regularly, but that's not the point.
Sure, we go to each other's fucking houses for Christmas. That's not important.
Yeah, sure, dude. Is he a fucking godfather to both my children? Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That's not the point.
The point is this. Would that motherfucker, all 6'4" of him and 110 kilos,
120 kilos,
130 kilos,
135,
of
40
absolute raw 5% body fat muscle.
Yeah,
type
raw
of
muscle,
motor.
dude. Marbled within an inch of its life.
Yeah, like Liver King shit.
Yes, dude.
Like Liver King, bruh. That motherfucker in blue, representing his state, his people, he's not going to let you down. Now, his admission, I also found surprising.
Omission.
I found surprising. Good news, punters and dribblers. Great news. Good news, great news. Delicious news. Both are back.
Can I? Okay, so can we just?
So I'm pumped out the gates about that.
Yeah. Let's just go through the team here. So obviously Teddy fullback, Matty Burton into the centres, and Staggs dropped. I will just say this: Staggs being dropped for Matt Burton. I don't personally think Staggs, and again, I could be wrong and I may be misremembering. I don't remember Staggs having a particularly bad game. He did get injured and go off. He didn't get into the game as much as you would like, potentially.
But have you heard why they brought him in?
Burton in?
Yeah.
No.
Basically, what I read was that there has clearly been some sort of discussion around the fact that Cleary got kick pressured out the fucking arse in game one. And if you've got another motherfucker like Burton who can put up the pure bomb.
Okay.
The pure bomb.
The pure bomb.
The pure bomb.
Yeah, no, a bomb's bomb.
A bomb's bomb. A bomb that bombs look at it and go, bruh, that's a bomb.
Well, it's the best bomb in the comp.
If that's the thing, right? Now the kick pressure's relieved because you got the best bomb in the comp sitting there going, I'm free. Because you can't kick pressure both of them.
No.
That's my understanding. And off the back of that, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
The BBITC.
Correct.
See, now that makes sense to me.
Are you with me now?
I'm with Freddie now. Because the Stags thing, I was a bit like, well, that just to me seems a bit like mean-spirited. If Stags was the best for game one, how the fuck is Matt Burton now better for game two? But now I get it. BBITC.
Yep.
That's all good. We move on. So we've now got BBITC and Crichton.
Yep.
Not Angus, but Stephen.
Yep.
In the centres. I'm cool with that. And you know what? I like Crichton getting a crack at starting.
Well, he's a thoroughbred.
But it's like, let's give him a crack at starting because off the bench was stupid.
Yes.
And I think as a nation and then more granularly as a state, we all thought it was stupid.
Yes.
But in Freddie we trust, so whatever.
That's right. You've also now got in Burton a bloke that can play almost anywhere in the back line.
And in the halves if he needs to.
And in the
someone
halves
goes
he
down.
needs to. And then you've got in Crichton someone that can play anywhere in the back right. And I mean, he'd do a job in the back row, wouldn't he?
Stephen.
If you had to.
Yeah, well, if you had to, yeah.
Like if you had to.
If you had to, you could do it.
Yeah.
We now move into the forwards. Campbell Gillard, Ryan Madison, and then in we bring Jakey Turbo and
AC. Now, Jack Whiten, COVID. Sabi Caruso. I'm pumped for Appy.
I like the Appy move.
I like the Appy thing. You know what? Let's fucking meet Queensland at their own goddamn game.
Yeah.
If you want to play
to
that
have
game,
a little fucking dummy half coming on? Sweet, bro.
if you want a guy to fucking scoot around the park,
You mean a boot scooting, baby?
We've now got a boot scooting baby coming off the bench, and I can promise you right now,
Appy?
Cook.
Start 9. Cook. I want to see him work himself into a stupor.
Dude,
I don't know what a stupor is,
Dave's going to find out.
but I want him working himself into one.
I want
the
him-
way that Ben Hunt worked himself into one in game 1. He worked himself into one of the great stupors all time. And then Harry Grant comes on after Ben Hunt is all stupid out.
Yeah.
And
Stupors himself.
And stupors himself, but is able to finesse the ruck.
Well, then Ben Hunt comes back on.
But you see Appy on the weekend, just boot, scooting, baby.
Yeah.
Pick it up, scoot, boot, scooting, baby.
Driving me crazy.
I want him to drive Queensland crazy.
Yeah.
That boot, scooting, baby.
Yeah, that boot,
drive
scooting, baby.
them's crazy.
Boot,
That's what I
baby
want.
driving Queensland crazy.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Stupor, you had it right. A state of near unconsciousness or insensibility.
That's what we need. We need stupor from our fucking dummy halves.
I need Cook to literally work himself into the greatest stupor the state's ever seen.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Because we go to Perth with our fucking backs against the wall, needing a W to set up a showdown at Suncorp that Tom and I will be at. But not only that, where we can reimagine 2005, but in a 2022 context, where we go up there and get a big W.
Yeah. And not to be confused with Big W, the outlet store.
Which I believe stands for Big Warehouse. But I could be wrong. And I may have made that up.
You know what?
And in fact, I probably did.
No, I don't think you did.
Or is it Big W as in like Big Win?
Can I just...
No, it's actually because it's owned by Woolworths. So the W is like the W from Woolworths.
Big Woolworths.
Oh, under
So
our
it's
very
a Big
noses.
Woolies. But it's not a Big Woolies.
Well, it's not a Woolies because Woolies is a supermarket.
What
but
I want to know is, and Freddie's confusing me though, and in Freddie we trust. I just want to make sure that everyone knows that.
Well, I'd be concerned if you weren't making that known.
But I don't understand why Victor Radley has been rushed in after he's been out for a couple of weeks. Now, no one's fucking hornier for Victor generally than I am. But if you're talking about like, oh, we need to
Is
get out.
Victor just in the squad?
Yeah, just in the squad. Also, Talakai of Thickness Cubed on the bench.
In favour of...
But they haven't picked the
Well, hang
actual
on.
bench yet. They haven't
Where's
picked,
Liam
like,
Martin then?
Liam
Starting
Martin's in the
Tarek.
team.
And Liam Martin.
And no disrespect to Tarek, but that's how much you were out, was that I forgot you were even in.
We haven't talked about him. He actually, and this is no offence, hasn't crossed my mind this morning.
No, neither.
I
Until
saw the-
then. It was like, how the
Well, I
fuck's
saw the
Talakai?
sides last night. I'm like, there you go. Completely skipped my mind until this morning.
So, Tarek, Talakai. Now, what I'm confused by firstly is what the fuck's Radley doing in there? And cool, I get it, he's
Experience.
good. Right, so it's more just about getting around the...
Well, it's like when Suwali was in there.
Okay, if that's what it is, but it's like he's been rushed in.
I don't think he's been rushed in at all. I think it's like you will be in this setup in some capacity moving forward.
We just want you to know the system.
And even still, Freddie may be looking at it like this, Thomas. With the way the rugby league goes, with the way that injuries happen all the fucking time, maybe it's best that Victor gets around the boys, learns the systems, gets a feel for things, Thomas, should he be required in a decider. Does that make sense?
Yep. Can I tell you something that got me as hard as a blood diamond in this build-up to State of Origin?
Blood Diamond's known to be...
As hard as they come.
Right.
Sifa Talakai of Tongan heritage or Tongan descent, I believe came out in the media this week, didn't call Freddie directly, just like came out in the media and was like, Freddie's got my number. I'm Tongan, sure, but I'm a fucking Australian first and I'm New South Wales first and that's what I want to do. So Freddie, come at me, bruh. And I like that because obviously, you know, like if you're not picked for Origin, he can go and represent Tonga, which is the place of his heritage. But I like that he's like, no, dude, like I'm Australian and I'm a New South Welshman first. Obviously, I got Tongan heritage, but I was born here, bruh. This is what I'm about.
It brings a tear to the eye. Now, you couldn't go on...
A blue tear.
You could go on for some time about how ridiculous it is that these things cross over.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
And then I think in the fullness of time, they will no longer cross over.
I hope
think
so.
changes will be made. But seeing a proud New South Welshman want to represent the state brings a tear to the eye, no doubt about it. I think I see him, Tom, just like if I'm just like the eyeball test, I see him being an absolute handful.
Well, you want to talk about a utility. He started the season at prop, then moved to the back row, and now is a centre of note. So this man can do whatever the fuck he wants. And he's just going to come in and wrecking ball people. Miley Cyrus.
Coming like a wrecking ball.
Dude, he's Miley Cyrus.
Shout out to Miley.
Well, no, shout out to Talakai, who's our Miley Cyrus. He's Australia's Miley Cyrus.
Yes. Shout out to Talakai.
Australia's Miley Cyrus.
Yep.
Payne's still there. Nico's still in the squad. Nico, I mean, I don't know who he's got to suck. Jordan McLean, he won't be, he's not in the side though, right? He's a backup front rower.
Well, they haven't named like the lineup yet.
No,
They haven't
but I
the
think
squad.
people are sort of,
Yeah, people get it.
I think that what we've named as the side is the side.
yeah.
Now, I could be wrong. And it wouldn't be,
Rarely are we though.
rarely am I wrong, but it wouldn't be the first time I have been wrong. Just know that.
No, might be.
I can't recall the last time I was wrong, but like I'm sure I have been.
Yeah, you're so humble that you're prepared to acknowledge that there may have been a time in the past where you're wrong, but you just don't remember it.
Exactly.
That
What
makes-
does Josh Adokar have to do to get
Here we go.
inside? Hello.
Hey, what? I
What's
don't
it
know.
for?
What's the address?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, it's right there.
It's working.
Thank you.
Who's that? What's that for? Who's that?
No
Presents? It's working.
idea. That is working.
Do we do an unboxing on air? No.
Nah.
Nah,
We don't know what it is.
What would that be?
I don't know.
Oh, well. But it worked,
It does work.
dude. The sign on the door works.
Punters and dribblers, it works. It works. Now, where were we? Lost. I'm humble. That's right. I'm a humble guy.
Yeah, we're humble. You're humble. We're humble.
Humble guy that just, unknowingly pushes in lines in the fucking car park. But humble.
And then gets in a fight.
New South Wales.
New South Wales.
New South Wales. I have got to tell you, Tom, I love the makeup of the side.
Yeah, it's a fucking... Listen, a lot of changes. Freddie was like...
But
Freddie goes, this is a side, we picked this side, we've got to win this game, we picked a side to win the game. And I'm like, in terms of, stupid rugby leagueisms, what the fuck were you doing in game one?
Can I be honest, Tom? And this is just my feeling on it. And this is definitely not a shot at Freddie, a 30-game veteran for New South Wales who could argue no one loves a state more than him. It's not about this. I think he may have got a bit too cute with it.
With it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, too cute with it.
I don't even think the with it's necessary, but I follow you. I know what you mean.
Far too cute with it.
Because if you want to win the game, why wouldn't you bring in New South Wales winners? People that know how to win.
Like, I'm just picking players in form. No, bruh. Like, pick players that are fucking good and have done it before.
But you know what's annoying about it, Tom, is that Queensland literally, during their fucking 11 in 12, handed New South Wales the blueprint. Like, this is how you do it. If motherfuckers win, you just keep picking them. Unless they fall so violently out of form, it's just disgraceful. Now, you could argue he did that with Tariq and shit, but like... Tariq was there for one series.
Listen,
like, Jake and AC have been there in the fucking fires before.
Tariq was brought in, I believe, last year to replace
someone else.
Yeah, and it was like he played well, and he did. And I was happy with Tariq being included. But if you're going to leave Jake out, then I'm not happy with Tariq being included. Or if you're going to leave AC out, then I'm not happy with Tariq. Because it's like, these motherfuckers have actually been there and done it for a long time, or at least for a period of time. Tariq had a good series. And no disrespect to Madison of fame or Campbell Gillard of fame. But, I mean, didn't blow dicks off.
No.
Madison blew no dicks off.
No.
Blew no dicks off.
No, dicks weren't blown off.
And then Campbell Gillard, I don't recall having my dick blown off by him at all either. And then you go and lose to the fucking Bulldogs. Like, what are you going to do, you know?
Look, I just think that look, I like this side because there's some familiar faces that are familiar faces,
Okay, yep. I think
and that's what makes me feel nice.
familiar.
Yep, that's what makes me feel nice.
La Familia faces.
La Familia. We've also got
Faces that are family.
we've also got a boot scooting baby coming off the bench.
Who's driving Queensland crazy.
Yeah. And sometimes I prefer to have a boot scooting baby coming off the bench at 14 than I do a guy that can cover all positions just in case. Like, you can move motherfuckers around. Do you know what I mean?
Happy could probably throw a 7 on his back as well. I'm pretty sure he has in the past.
Probably.
Pretty sure he has in the past.
7, 6, hooker.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Baby, he can put the 1 on, no problem. Burton can fucking play over the park. Stephen Crichton can play over the park. You got
Talakai.
Talakai who can play over the park.
Jakey.
Play over the park. So we've got blokes who can play all over the park.
Yeah.
And it's now not a park-based issue for me.
No, it's not. We got players all over the park.
But we have players that know how to win shields. That's what I like. If you don't think that squad isn't going to be hotter and hornier with the inclusion of Drake Trebojevic, you don't fucking get rugby league football. You just don't get it. That motherfucker is going to put hairs on chests.
Yep.
He's going to put hairs on chests, Tom. It's as simple as that. Now, a notable omission, Addo Carr has been left out once more.
I get it.
I want this to happen, though, Tom. If you've got a boy that likes getting aerial,
Get him aerial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like aerial out of the Mermaid show.
Not Ariel Hawani.
No, as in Ariel off The Little Mermaid.
Is she Ariel or is she Ariel?
Maybe she's Ariel, in which case...
Because
Not
she
applicable.
she was also water-based. She didn't
But
get
she
aerial.
could get up.
Like if she needed to.
Well, she got out of the ocean and up.
Did she get aerial though, or she just get fucking
Dude, she
terrestrial?
She got terrestrial.
She got on the land.
Yeah.
But we need then aerial. So I'm wondering, could she swim out of the water real like
Who knows?
a shark?
Look, a lot of what ifs. Just like there are a lot of what ifs around what could have been had we gone aerial game one.
Nathan
knows what he needs to do.
I hope to see a big improvement from Nath in game 2. And I do like that we've got, I can't remember what the acronym was for Burton, but it worked.
EBTIGC, something like that.
Whatever. Well, it'll come back to me when I watch the tape. But Nath needs to put the state on his back. He does. That's what your halves do. He needs to put the state in his back. Sorry. Joey came out and was like, Nathan had nothing to fucking do. I was like, Joey, I love you, and obviously I can't argue with you because you're Joey Johns. But Nathan needs to put the state in his back.
He needs to put the state on his back.
He does. Am I arguing with Andrew Johns? No. I'm just saying that Nathan, the best halfback in the competition, needs to put the state on his back. That's all I'm saying. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so.
I tell you what else needs to happen, Tom. The team needs to be sat down, all right, and have a stern talking to, whereby each of them are looked in the fucking eyes and told very clearly and with absolute certainty, if you buy one of Munster's outrageous dummies to no one, you will be shot.
Yeah, no, you'll be shot.
And it's on
the sideline.
Shot on sight,
Yeah.
Tom. And then fucking like horses at the race course, you just put up a black sheet and the body will be removed. I'm that serious about this.
Yeah, no, you get shot.
If you buy one of his outrageous dummies to no one, shot on sight.
Yep.
I don't know, how else do you fucking get it through their skulls that the dummy to no one is literally a dummy to no one?
No, it's fair. It's fair. And, some people might think that's an extreme course of action.
Is it extreme after what he's done to us in the past?
No, it's not.
I don't think so.
It's not. Now,
he's literally won series before by himself, so I don't think it's like, am I being too serious?
no, you're not. I
don't think I'm being too
You're being
serious.
the appropriate level of serious, Edward, and I respect you for it. You know I do. There will be a high-powered rifle on the sideline. and there'll be a plastic sheet already erected so you can see the fucking thing. Believe me, you know that thing's there, and if you get sold a dummy, then a trainer's coming on, they're doing a concussion sub, but it's not, they're going to tap their head and they're like, what are you doing? Oh, they're going to go and put a bullet in one of the New South Wales players' heads because he was sold a dummy to no one.
It had to be said. It had to be said.
Listen, this is I'm pretty sure Dominic Perrottet.
This is a high stakes business.
This is from the tippity top of the state.
This is Origin. Talking Origin here, Tom. Origin's been
But it's a
talked.
government official is what I'm saying who's going to be sent down with the weapon. They're like trained killers.
Yes.
And it is what it is.
It is what it is. So, look, you've been told. You've been taught. You've been told. No.
Is that Origin? I think so. Fuck Queensland.
Go the Blues.
Say that. Go the Blues.
Go the Blues.
New South Wales 13 plus. We're going to do a live stream for it. So there's that. You can watch us fucking celebrate. Live stream. Hello Sport YouTube.
Watch us celebrate.
Watch us celebrate.
Watch us bask in glory.
Yep.
Or
No. Basking glory. Like a basking shark, but in glory.
I was going to say, if you're not into that,
Oh.
you can go and fuck yourself.
Yeah, good. I thought that's what you were going to say. Go fuck yourself if you don't like that. So this has just been we're just adding this to the end of our Origin chat, punters, dribblers. And Coruscant to start the game, Cook to the bench.
Jake starting.
Jake to start the game. I will ask you this, Eddie.
They've
Firstly-
started Jake before.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I think that the Cook to the bench is a slow progression of Cook out of the side. That's tinfoil hat. Jake to start, again, it just puts into like perspective to like, well, what? So he wasn't even good enough to make the side for game one, and now he's starting the game.
Jake.
Yeah. He wasn't good enough to make the fucking extended squad for game one.
I look from an outsider looking in, I think it's just.
Is it Freddie just being man
Own
enough
your-
to own
yeah,
his mistakes?
He's just man enough to own your mistakes. You start Jake, he takes the sting out of the game, tackles anything that moves, and then Junior comes on and rips and tears. Like takes souls in that, you know what I mean?
Take souls in that. And then with
Because Jake started before in games we've won, Dior. Don't know if that's true.
No,
He's
it's
definitely started. And I
then
assume we won.
in the Queensland side, is there anything untoward about that? Lindsay Collins, did he start last game? Nah, something must have changed. No. So Lindsay Collins is starting. Tino's been moved to 13. Jai Arrow on the bench. And then the rest of the bench is normal. But so, yeah, New South Wales bench, Cook, Crichton, Paulo, Talakai. Appy starting at 9. I like it.
Well.
Anyway, that's Origin.
That's Origin, baby.
Edward,
Thomas.
before we get into the dribbles, couple of things. Firstly, friend of the show and potentially one of the hottest men in television, Tony Armstrong, won a Logie last night. I just wanted to shout him out. Never met him personally, but, you know, he dribbles in our DMs every once in a while, and I just saw him on stage. I'm like, that's a fucking sexy man in the prime of his life.
Look, we celebrate sexy men on this podcast, Tom. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
If you're sexy and you know it, clap your hands, you know what I mean?
And he was clapping, bro. He was clapping.
He was clapping, brah.
If you're sexy and you know it, clap your hands. That wasn't me doing it. That was Tony.
That was Tony.
I was clapping for Tony.
Clapping for Tony.
But I did want to shout out our good friends at Brown Cardigan. Now, some of you may have seen that Brown Cardigan released a line of merch, Manly minus 13. And it was like a fuck Manly, fuck you, fucking Manly, da-da-da-da. Not a big punter, it would seem.
No, not a big bird guy.
Not a big bird guy.
Because the bird used was a canary,
Well, it wasn't the correct bird.
which
It was already the starting that was wrong.
it's not a great start.
He's not. What's it called if you're a bird watcher?
Anthropologist?
Or ornithologist.
Ornithologist. Not a big ornithologist is Brown Cardigan.
I don't think that's going to shock anyone.
No.
That Brown Cardigan not an ornithologist.
And isn't it called like a twitcher or some shit if you go and look at birds? Not a big twitcher.
Not a big Twitcher guy.
Twitcher. But also not a big punter because basically Manly minus 13 essentially means Manly 13 plus.
It does.
In gambling terms. So got ya.
Not a big ornithologist.
Not a big twitcher.
punter.
Not a big punter. Fuck ya. We should have got some of those T-shirts actually because it's just Manly 13 plus.
Well, exactly. I mean, if you were looking,
with a dead canary on it.
If you were looking to get a Manly 13 plus T-shirt with a canary on it, that was the merch for you.
Yeah. That was your chance. So, and I think he might be a Tigers fan. That was what I was told by reliable sources. And I believe the Tigers just lost to the Bulldogs, so I can understand.
By more than 13 points.
But by a fuckload.
By, how many was it? Was it 30?
Yeah, I was just 24. Under 30. I think just a tick under 30.
You always round up.
You do round up. So it's 30 plus from the Bulldogs against the Tigers, which is just fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? Like that'd hit you.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
That'd hit you like a fucking big old sledgehammer to the chest.
Yeah.
That'd hit you.
That's a sledgy.
Yeah, it's a sledgy. I just want to appreciate the support, really.
I appreciate the support. We appreciate the support. There's no bad feeling. There's no ill feeling.
Well, it's good to have, mate, fucking Brown Cardigan is Brown Cardigan, right? Reputation precedes him. We love Brown Cardigan.
Good. But you know, at the end
it's just good to have someone as big as Brown Cardigan supporting the Manly 13 plus movement.
That's exactly right. That's what we're pumped about. So thank you to you, bruh.
Yep.
Thank you to you.
Tigers.
You know.
That's tough.
You
and
know.
you're more than welcome to come and to join the Seagulls. Because the Tigers.
Well, it's clear to me that he's a big Manly fan because he's selling Manly 13 plus merch.
Yeah.
Although he got his numbers wrong, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it was basically like a Freudian slip.
He wanted, yeah.
I think that's what you're looking at. You're looking at
this
a
is
bloke,
Freudian.
This has got Freud written all over it, dude. This is Freudian as fuck. Brown Cardigan wants to so badly be a Manly Seagulls fan. He wants to see the club win 13 plus. He's stuck in Tiger Town trying to get out. And this is his way.
This is his ticket out of Tiger Town.
This is his ticket out. So I get it. We get it.
We get it, dude. We get it. Should we dribble?
Let's dribble.
All right, let's dribble.
Let's do it.
If I have 830 summer tans, I can give one summer tan to 830 people. If I have $830 million, I can give $1 million to 830 people. Simple maths never. 1 million to everybody, forever.
Yeah, look, I forgot that we should address that.
I would say this, punters and dribblers. Sometimes when you get wrapped up in the throes of passion, like when you think your mates come up with like this genius idea and all you want to do is nut it out, which is what we did, we arrived at the right conclusion. Our working was just wrong.
We just forgot to carry a couple of ones and zeros, right? Like,
dude,
that happens.
That shit happens all the time. Sometimes you just forget to carry ones and zeros. And I've seen it happen.
Yeah, well, and they got to see it happen.
You've seen it. You've now at home have seen it happen. We've seen it happen. It happened.
Yeah, so for those of you that maybe didn't listen to last Thursday's pod, we had a sort of an economic debate. Not even debate, discussion.
Did we put that video up?
Yes, we did.
So we've addressed it.
Well, we've addressed it, but if you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it, and you're listening to what the fuck's going on. We had an economic conversation that we forgot to carry some ones and zeros in, and ultimately our maths was slightly off.
But only marginally.
Only marginally. So it was like...
Wasn't much in it.
30 million as opposed to like 30 trillion or something like that, you know. Don't make us do the maths again, but yeah, basically, I respect the gentleman's dribble.
Basically, Tom thought it would cost $30 million to give everyone $1 million. It would actually be like maybe beyond the trillions. But that's neither here nor there.
No, it's neither here nor there. I think that my heart was in the right place. You can't deny me that.
That's basically all that the conversation was about.
Yeah.
Is what is Tom's heart in the right place?
And also Eddie of I almost had a band 6 in economics. Let's not get off scot-free there.
But
you
I
did claim
no,
economics.
but your heart was in the right place.
was.
And I pointed out, I think, several times that I didn't get a band 6.
No, that's true. You did. You did say that. But
I said it several times.
Yeah, you did. You said you were saying I'm not a band 6 economist.
No.
But I like where your head's at.
That's all I said.
That's all it was.
But what I meant was I like where your heart's
Where
at.
my heart's at. And my head and heart are very
Well, they're the same.
not a
aligned.
band 6 anatomy person either.
No,
Not too much
no.
in the human body. Head, heart, different places.
What controls the heart?
Yeah.
The head. So on you
Shut
go.
up, Dave. Yeah, why don't you go out and buy some more AstroTurf, you fucking idiot.
But thank you for pointing that out.
No, appreciate it.
But you are, sir.
You are one of a million people that pointed it out.
Yeah.
And obviously you just didn't realise that we were talking about where our heart was at and that he isn't a band 6 economist. Let's move on.
G'day, Tom, Eddie, Dio, Dave. I've had a pretty rough week this week. My girlfriend broke up with me 2 days ago, and I haven't left the couch. I think to myself, what would the boys do? And so I've watched Marley and Me.
Oh,
I've listened to
mate.
2 Billie Eilish albums.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm pounding curly whirlies into the core of the earth.
Smart man.
This man's onto something.
Boys, I don't know where to go from here.
Stay the course.
No,
I
stay the course.
drowned myself in swimming content this week with the World Championships coming up.
Oh,
call.
that's-
Shout out to Tommy Neal, who unfortunately missed the team due to COVID. Love that guy.
He obviously loves his
But
sport.
boys, have you got any other ways that I can fucking just get myself deeper into this hole that I'm in? Feel free to let me know. Have a good one.
He sounds as flat as a fucking tack, doesn't
Flat
he?
as attack. I tell you who has been known in the past to offer a shoulder to cry on. Do you know who that is?
Who?
Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders will never break up with you.
Never.
You know one person...
Do you want someone that you can rely on
Yeah.
through thick and thin? To be there? To be a shoulder you can cry on? To be a word of reason in the ear?
Yeah, but like also a port in the storm.
Oh, he's a port in the storm. He's a lighthouse of sorts.
Yes.
Colonel
a
Sanders.
beacon of hope, Colonel
He's
Sanders.
a beacon. He's all beacon. The Colonel is all beacon. And
Now-
in some of my darkest moments, I turn to the Colonel, and he too shall understand this gentleman. that-
Well, it's like put your head on my shoulder, and then he starts putting chippies in your mouth.
Yep.
And, some fried chicken.
And you're like,
Well, this is
Colonel,
nice.
could you actually dip those chips into that potato and gravy? And then he does.
And then he does.
That's what you need, bro.
yeah. Oh, crap.
The gooch going again.
No, it's the ribs now. Oh God. Could you crack that Pepsi for me, Colonel?
Just a wicked wing there.
Yeah, just a wicked wing, thanks. KS. CS. KS, how do you spell Colonel? K?
C.
C. There
The
you
K
go.
is for Kentucky.
Or Colonel.
He's like, he was a colonel. A chicken colonel.
A chicken Colonel. Yeah, listen, Colonel Sanders, Port 1. Don't let Chris Martin fucking slip out of this thing as well.
No.
Chris Martin, he's only a phone call away, and
he'll bury you.
He'll bury
in
you.
the right way.
Well, because I think the important thing is that you've got to purge, much like before you get like a colonoscopy, you got to basically shit out everything inside you. You've got to cry all the tears you've got.
Yep, you got to cry them all.
So
Every
Billy was
single one.
great, but I actually think Coldplay is going to be better for you because Coldplay's basically just melodically singing cry. Like he's just trying to make you cry. So I'd be getting that into you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, swimming will probably fucking... I think you can find better ways to distract yourself than the swimming, but...
You might be looking at torture result.
Okay.
But having said that, I don't mind watching swimming.
I don't mind watching it, but I am just trying to work out where this... Unless he's a
If it's on during the day and you can watch the female Origin Friday night, test matches on Saturday night, is it? And then during the day, and then Origin on Sunday, obviously. If the swimming's on during the day, that's what I'd be doing.
Take the week off work as well.
Yep.
I want to know why she broke up with you.
Oh, young love, just the way it goes.
Yeah, sure. But Eddie, I'm now invested in the yarn, and I want to know the nitty gritty. I'm a goss guy.
Look, that's up to him if he wants to tell.
Of course it is. There's no way of me forcing
But you just
him.
want him to know. You just want to know.
I don't know that anyone could hear that man and not want to know.
Sure. Look, I hope we've helped.
I'm sure we have.
I'm going to go. Oh, we've helped.
You know, I was listening to the previous podcast and I heard something very shit, very bad. And it was, you were talking about the football, the calcio, or what you like to call the soccer. And you were talking about Italia and the football. And it was absolutely shit, wrong. You know, Italia has to play France and Germany and Poland and England, you know, and we win. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. But, you know, we play hard teams, whereas, you know, these fuckwits in Australia, you know, they still have coffee, they still have way of life. And then, you know, you play like Japan and you lose. And then, you know, you think you're big dogs because you beat fucking Peru. You know? Peru hasn't been good since the Incas. Okay? Just shut your fucking mouth about Italia. You know? Shut the fuck up. It is not good. You know? You know, maybe sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. But we won the European Cup. You know, we have the best clubs in the world.
Accent
and you know, what do you have in Australia? Timmy Cahill? You know, you get knocked out in the group stage every fucking World Cup.
out.
You know, when we make the World Cup, we fucking win that shit.
Too long.
You know, 2006, Campioni del Mundo.
I'm going to do it.
You know?
It's too long.
So shut your fucking mouth, you Aussie gronks.
Okay.
And it's...
There we go. I wonder what's like more offensive to Italians, what we said or that accent. You know what I mean? Like that Italian representation, or us acknowledging that we're better than them at soccer. Like
All we did was point out that they haven't been to the last two World Cups, which is a fact.
That is just
and
the
that
reality.
we have. That's literally all we said. That was it.
That was like generally, I assume, an Australian dude who maybe has some Italian heritage, but like not a great deal of it. Certainly no accent. Certainly no one around him that represents an Italian accent.
The accent I think was poor. It got poorer as the dribble went on because he committed to far too long.
Yeah.
Like 30, maybe 15 seconds, get in, get out.
Yeah. Don't give me enough chance to realise how shit your accent is.
Then you're leaving doubt then. There's doubt around. You removed all doubt the longer you went.
In fairness, within the first 3 seconds, I was like, this is complete horseshit. That wasn't an Italian accent. That's true. I was going, yeah, what accent is this guy doing?
I couldn't tell.
Well, we had to wait until he said Italy.
Until the rhetoric started, I had no idea.
Yeah, that was awful. That was absolutely awful. And I think that you've done far more to denigrate Italians globally, having put that out into the world. And I think that...
Look, I agree.
And
at the end of the day, all we did was speak truth.
Yeah, we
speak
did.
facts.
That gentleman owes Italy an apology.
I think so.
Chad Townsend is the best half in the comp. Take that, Cherry.
Sure. I don't know. I'm not supposed to say that.
Well, we've spoken at length about the game.
Yeah.
And now it's just time to sit back and take your licks. And that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed your long lunch, you fucking losers. Take your licks, boy. Cows forever, Manly never. Be soon.
Yep. Just got to take them.
No, you
just got to take them.
Yep. Nothing hurts more than the loss itself.
All you can do. Just take them licks. Take them. Just take them.
Boys.
That was a good one.
I like that.
Nah, that was good.
It made me smile at least.
Yeah, exactly. It brought some joy to me.
Oh, dear. It does bring back painful memories.
What a great sport we follow. Attention. What a ride this is. Terry Evans grabs by the defense. Outstanding Cowboys. Holmes is away. Can he make it all the way home? I'll tell you what he can. Valentine Holmes gets there for the Cowboys. Manchester has been chosen to watch it. The Cowboys. What a sign they are. Never say die. And it's still not over, folks. There's 40 to go.
Take your fucking licks, boys.
Yeah.
I'm taking them, buddy. That was pretty creative.
Yeah, I didn't mind. It was creative.
Licks a little more creative this week than usual.
Well, yeah, a lot of them, they can be pure shit.
The ones that have survived the internet anyway.
See your day, fuck you, you wish you were here, you fucking arsehole. Canberra Raiders supporter, get a fucking loss. Tom and Eddie, get a fucking loss. Fuck, up the Canberra Raiders, up the fucking
Dude, you have every right.
Was that guy at Moosehead's, dude? On the full
that
cream
guy has
bar?
every right to be happy. The Raiders were staring down the barrel of their ninth, since the start of last year, their ninth loss after having more than a double-digit lead. So they were 14-0 up against the Knights, and they came back and it was 18-14. It was like, fucking hell. So if you're a Raiders fan, dude, that Hudson Young try was good, and I'm happy for you. I don't give a fuck. Trust me, the weekend was way worse than a Raiders win. Happy for that man.
Happy for you. He sounded like he was enjoying
He sounded like he was enjoying himself. Like, fuck the Raiders, fuck the Knights, but you know what? I don't mind it. Although I didn't help any bets I had on. But that's not the point.
Dreadlock Dribbly here, boys. I was messaging a mate just now, and he mentioned something about natural harvest. Now, this is a collection of semen-based recipes. This is the if you Google it, this is what comes up. Semen is not only nutritious, but it also has a wonderful texture and amazing cooking properties.
Jesus Christ.
Like fine wine and cheeses,
Oh.
the taste of semen is complex and dynamic. You boys reckon you might get a copy?
Good Lord.
Good Lord. I don't.
Give him a mouthpiece, and that's what they come up with.
I don't like that guy sounds African as well. Not that has anything to do with it, but
I don't think it's got any relevance.
No,
to him.
I think it does. Dave and the South Africans, they're all fucking. They're a bit, how you going? They're a bit how you going.
In our culture, we don't say how you going. We say how's it.
How's it? Yeah, they're a bit how's
how's
it.
it.
They're a bit how's it,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I mean? Like, that was a lot of semen rhetoric that I did not need on a Monday.
Oh, I didn't know. Look.
And you know what? Don't you dare ever spruik the texture of semen as something positive. It is not. It's gross as fuck. You know?
I didn't think I was going to come here today and be told by a South African that there is a cookbook with
the nutritional properties of
semen-based recipes.
No.
Didn't think that was going to happen.
But if
didn't see it in my future.
But if you were going to ask me whose if you were to have someone spruiking the benefits of semen-based cooking, who would that be? I'd say probably a South African dude.
Who's also, I think, a white dude with dreads.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's more a white South African dude is more where I'm coming from.
With dreads.
With dreads.
Well, it was always going to be someone with dreads.
Yes. Well, definitely.
Always.
Semen-based cooking.
Well, that's why he would think the texture of semen is actually really nice because he enjoys the texture of dreadlocks.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and compare the texture of dreadlocks to the texture of semen. Dave.
No, they're not the same thing. I think that's a relatively long bow,
That's a
but
huge
I'm
bow.
prepared for you to pull it back.
Yeah. You can walk that back.
You can walk it back.
I stand by my argument.
Well, okay. There we go.
On we go. On we go. We've got to be getting close, don't we?
Yeah, 2 more.
Oh, hi, boys. Non-punting dribbler here. After many years of you guys talking about rugby league maths, I believe on Friday night we saw the first instance of rugby league players using Tom and Eddie maths. Following the $30 million is $1 million for all Australians debacle, I'm pretty sure Manly looked up at the clock after 72 minutes and thought, 8 seconds to go here, boys. What a shame. Calculators soon. Insular Peninsula's never.
Yeah. Look, maybe they did.
Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't.
Hard to know at this point. The jury's out, but I certainly can appreciate this young dribbler's perspective.
Yeah, look, he's entitled to it in his opinion. He's entitled to his perspective. I don't agree with it.
But, you know, but I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks, bro.
And, you know, it's different perspectives make up the rich tapestry of life.
That's right. And it is a rich tapestry.
It's rich, dude. It's fucking rich.
Arguably the richest tapestry of all.
It's so rich, I hate it.
Exactly. It's that rich that Dave fucking wants it cancelled.
All right, last one.
No reason at all.
Eddie, Tom, D or Dave, Tommy Tobler. Hope this day finds you well, boys. This is the wrestling dribbler here. I just wanted to point out that there's been a little bit of crossover between the world of professional wrestling and Australian sport in recent times. We've had Shawn Michaels' theme music played at a Sharkies game, Triple H's theme music played at a Panthers game, even our own boy Nikita Zoo coming out to the Undertaker's theme music. Absolutely breathtaking. But boys, it got me thinking, and I think I have to ask Tom of Wrestling Fanboy fame this one. Which NRL player would you like to see become a professional wrestler, and which professional wrestler would you like to play in the NRL? For me, I'd like to see Brock Lesnar in the NRL, just snapping cunts in half. And I got to say, Cam Smith has an impeccable wrestling technique, so I think he makes a fine pro wrestler. So, boys, just wanted to get Tom's take on that. Other than that, Cam Smith, chicken wings never. Brock Lesnar, snapping cunts forever. See you soon, boys.
It's very much a Tom question.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the Brock Lesnar coming to the NRL. And obviously I'm talking prime Brock, not fucking 45-year-old Brock Lesnar. But I think that's a pretty good one. I like Brock. Could also go maybe a Hulk Hogan just because he's got a bit about him. Again, this is all prime Hulk Hogan's. Andre the Giant could do a job. You know, he's not quick. He'd probably get chopped in half. But I'd just like to see someone of that size get up and down a rugby league field. In fact, he'd be awful upon reflection. Andre the Giant, may he rest in peace, would be awful. He'd just get snapped. But he'd be big and it'd be a bit of a show, you know what I mean? It'd be a bit of pizzazz. He'd probably fucking get paid like a 5-year, $4 million contract or something with the Warriors. In terms of NRL players going to the WWF, WWE, knee WWF, it's a good question. Bunty Afoa's got some hair on him, and you need good hair in the NRL, in the WWF. Bunty Afoa.
What? So no one without hair's ever wrestled?
Well, no, Stone Cold bald as a badger, but I'm
trying. Well, I'm just seeing what you know.
Well, no, yeah, I'm just trying to think about what's going to get tongues or wagging, and sometimes a good head of hair is half the battle.
I would think maybe like a Jack Hetherington of Only Knows How to Tackle Above the Neck fame.
Yeah, but he's not got much showstopper about him, Jack. Tell you what, Chad Townsend. I could see Chad, he'd be one of those little whippety guys like Rey Mysterio. or Spike Dudley. No disrespect. So either Chad Townsend or Bunty Afoa, I think, is who I'm going with there. Now, am I fucking throwing shade at Chad? No. Is Spike Dudley and Chad pretty similar? Yeah, I'd say they are in wrestling terms. Has it got anything to do with Chad beating us on the weekend? No, doesn't. Just think him and Spike Dudley are similar, so fuck off.
I don't know who Spike Dudley is, but I'm getting a Spike Dudley vibe.
Yeah.
Punters and Dribblers, you've reached the end. If you are still here...
That's Spike Dudley.
If you are still here, congratulations.
Yeah.
You passed the test. And there is no gifts.
No, it's just a test. You passed. But that's us. Shout out to everyone for tuning in. Thanks to everyone who got the New South Wales 13 plus jumpies. Again, nice limited edition. Fuck everyone who's not the Seagulls. Thanks to the sponsors.
Go New South Wales.
Go New South Wales.
Could you two just not talk anymore?